Sean Dickinson. No, let it go.
Yellow.
Oh, Saunders back into the pack. Takes Monster. Donovan finish. Sean English finish. Oh my God.
Caution! No way. Or he's gonna dive bomb him. Here he goes. He's gonna try a bomb. All the way to his bumper. Can he shove him? Can't do it. Dylan Orr is gonna win it here in Iowa.
Bump and run! Oh, he's done this before!
Bump and run to 61 to the inside. Can he make it work? He's got it.
Inside of the 0-2. He's slided! Oh, Burrows is around! Oh, the wrecking right in front of him. That's Mogren.
Jones is a great run on the high side.
Drive off the corner and...
They're gonna be side by side. This is gonna be a photo finish. 3 wide off the wire. And that's the stripe. It's gonna be Ruggles! Oh my God, what a finish! iSCAR is in. We're up and away. Green flag.
61, Dominic Howell.
Oh, he gets hooked! Oh my God! Hard as the wall! New track on the start finish line. Who comes out on top? Dallas Myhan wins it! What? Make quick work of that number 9 of Eric Andrews. Andrews washes up the racetrack. Oh, let's go! Oh no! Oh! They're gonna be wrecking! That's the big one! Oh my God! Connor's involved! They're still wrecking! Three, 2, 1, 0. We welcome you here live for the Charlotte 97 for the iSCAR Bronze Series. Here, going to duke it out at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Stram. Welcome to the broadcast.
And hopefully we have a fun 65-lapper here. Going to be here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Obviously the final race of this season here in the Bronze Series. We'll go ahead and see it coming for the next season, but what's going to be replacing this time slot is going to be the Super Late Model Series now. The next round is going to be taking place at the famed USA International Speedway. We'll go ahead and see you there coming next week, but otherwise than that, we'll go ahead and log ourselves 65 laps and roll ourselves into sum up this finale for tonight. Go ahead and pull up weather. Dewey, treat us down, be the weatherman here for tonight.
Alright, well, tonight's forecast is a partly cloudy sky. Temperature is 75 degrees, pretty toasty for the fans in the stands. Track temp is 77 degrees, so not much of a difference between air and track temperatures. Your winds are currently coming from the northwest at 10 miles per hour, a little breezy. And we hope for a good race tonight and hope that weather doesn't change. Don't want no rain.
Ourselves all eyes on that track temperature. Even though it's 77 degrees, a small drop can change on how these cars will handle, so watch out for that as we progress with the night. We're going to slide ourselves to the side as the time expires in the top left corner of your screen. We'll go ahead and see you after the national anthem, so go ahead and rise out and remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors.
7.
1-0 for the Charlotte 97 iSCAR Bronze Series. Charlotte Motor Speedway getting ourselves set as we're currently under qualifying conditions as of right now. But before we go look at the leaderboard and see where everybody's standing, our points is going to be displayed in front of your screen. With Webster having more points than, the gap between first and second is bigger than the amount of cars we have on the track. That means Cody Webster will be your champion in that number 45. So congratulations, Cody, for securing it up, even though he's not here for tonight. Well, we're taking some look at the cars as they whip around the field. Dewey, based off of where practice time stood, who do you think is going to come up out front?
Well, that 555 of Rhett Nichols is fastest in qualifying so far. I'm not sure if he's made the start or not this year, but if not, that's a pretty good first impression in the league. And Sean Leisure was fastest in practice, one of the Prox guys who are always strong here, so look out for those two.
Right, Nichols. I don't know if it's Nichols or Nichols, because I know Zach in the NFL Berserker series, he goes by Nichols rather than Nichols, but whatever. Number 555 is sitting on top of the board. I said a bit of a surprise. I don't think he's ever had a start in the iSCAR, in any iSCAR series. So as you said, he's looking for a strong run here for tonight, and he's currently sitting on top of the board.
Yeah, reminiscent of a couple weeks ago. I forget the track now. Might have been Chicagoland, but when Dylan Basin showed up for his first race, and he qualified third and ran in the top 50 race. So I'm sure Rhett Nichols would love to have a debut like that. So
right. Yeah, I think this is actually his first start, so that's pretty exciting. We're seeing some more drivers complete laps around the racetrack. Let me go ahead and refresh my trading panes because I forgot to load up
Dummy.
Whoops. There it is. Not Webster, but Rexford's scheme. Showed up. I'm having a stroke here in the corner. Stamps parked on pit road. Those are the only two cars on the racetrack, the 03 and the 09. So we're waiting for Matthew Klein, John Canizero, Glenn Bundren, Hunter Ellis, William Schmidt, Eric Heater to log in a lap time. Heater actually attempted to log in a lap time, but unfortunately that number 11 machine hit the wall, and his car was junked as soon as he entered the front straightaway. So that's unfortunate for Heater, and Heater's been to victory lane in the series, pick up the win at Homestead. I wouldn't say there's a similar type of track, but it is a 1.5 miler. I'm interested in see on how that number 11 of Eric Heater will perform out here tonight.
yeah, Homestead's one of those where you can't group them or group it with the rest of the cookie cutter tracks, because even though they're the same length, Homestead is one in its.
Right.
You know, if Heater's good at 1.5 milers, I'd expect them to contend tonight. But like I said, Charlotte and Homestead are pretty much incomparable.
Yep. Well, we'll see how Heater does in that number 11. He started himself toward the back before and worked himself forward. We'll see if he can pull the impossible here for tonight, starting all the way. As the cars are starting to line up, we'll go ahead and pull out our starting grid here for tonight. We're going to alternate between rows. I'll go with first row. Dewey goes to the second. And row number 1 will be Rhett Nichols and Sean Leisure.
Scratch that. You can take the rest of the starting lineup because my session's done an oopsie and has froze. So
okay,
I'll need a minute here.
Yeah, we'll wait for Dewey to go ahead and reload into the session. So Harrison Chandler and Charlie Byer are going to round out row number 2. Row number 3 going to be Nick Miller and Kiloa Hankins. Row 4, Keaton Jones, Harry Grindle. Row 5 going to be Corey H. Hart's making a return out here tonight. Corey Rexford in the 03 as well on the racetrack. Row number 6 going to be Brian, not Brian, but Brandon Sampson. That 096, he too, one of the rookies out in tonight's field. Eric Stamp in the 09 as well on the racetrack. Carson Poindexter, Austin Griffey going to round out row number 7. Row number 8 going to be Garrett Hess, Eric Heater. Row number 9, William Schmidt, Matthew Klein. Row 10, Glenn Bundren and Hunter Ellis. Row 11 going to be John Canizero all the way in last. Well, as we wait for Dewey to go ahead and reload into the session.
Oh, you can go back out and not. You can still get back in?
Yeah.
Oh, alright. Alright, well, give me a hot second, folks.
Yeah, you can go ahead and just close out and hopefully get back into the session. But I'll go ahead and take over broadcasting here for this beginning portion. As we line ourselves up here for tonight, race analysis is going to be shown on the right-hand side of the screen. Race length is 65 laps. About 100 miles in length, pit window every 25 to 30 laps, pit road speed every 45 miles per hour. Weather, Dewey already went over it, but the track temps slowly dropping just slightly. We'll see on how that'll progress with the... I don't think it's going to fluctuate too hard because we're currently under nighttime conditions as of right now, but should be interesting on how these drivers will handle the cold racing surface with these with new tires. Hopefully nobody spins it. It looks like John, unfortunately, as well as Rex are not going to be gridded here for this one. For now, just joining us here for tonight, we welcome here to the Charlotte 97 iSCAR Bronze Series Charlotte Motor Speedway as the field paces down the back straightaway. The track information going to be shown on the right hand side of the screen of both front and back straightaways. 5 degrees in length. 5 degrees in length. 5 degrees of banking. The corners sort of variable, but it's flat 24 degrees around the racetrack. Hopefully Dewey can go ahead and reload the session ASAP. But here we go as we work off of turn number 4. Gonna take it to the green flag. That pole sitter of the number 555. First time we've seen him on the racetrack, and he's starting up front. Rhett Nichols is gonna start himself and gonna lead the field to the green flag. We're up and away here at Charlotte.
Green flag.
And the green flag is out. We're up. Oh my goodness, I just butchered that one.
We're gonna need some walkthroughs here during the session, as I'm not sure how to load back in when I'm already registered for this.
Oh, is the button grayed out right now?
There's a green checkbox that says I'm already registered, so I can't click back into it.
Oh, did you pull up the race tab on the top right?
I'm blind. I don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. All right, we're
Yeah, it should say join race. There
we're
you
working
go.
our way back.
There you go. As Field works himself down the front straightaway, a bit of single file action, but double wide here around where the oh man, close racing around goes Kiloa Hankins, slides up into the wall, a bunch of net code between the two, and we're gonna pile up off of turn number 2. As my goodness, that was some crazy net code. As Kiloa Hankins in the 72 got turned up the track. See it again. Loa definitely there. My goodness, there was at least half a car length between that number 77 and 72, and you see it right there. Loa locks it into the wall, and right behind, Glenn Bundren and Hunter Ellis collide as they went to go ahead and avoid around the spinning car. Oh, looks like Glenn, unfortunately. Oh, the 26, Matthew Klein, also got a piece of it. Hunter Ellis did not slow down in time, and Hunter ran to the backside of that number 98. Gonna onboard at number 01 as it worked coming in to turn number 2 where the wreck happened, and you see the ram right there, unfortunately, for that 01 of Hunter. Didn't check up in time. The drivers flinching in and out, but looks like everybody from 15th on back going to make their way on pit road this time. Let's work around here for lap number 4. Rat Nichols in that number 55, or not 55, 555. Started himself toward the front, has led every lap from the drop of the green flag.
As my session has decided to freeze as soon as it finished loading, so I'm having a real fun time over here. As soon as the track loaded and the cars are going around the track, it said, "You know what? I'm gonna freeze again."
Oh no.
Oh, this is fun.
Just keep trying. Or just wait it out. I don't know. Do something.
See, this will be. See, guys, this will be one of those where it'll be like lap 63 when I finally get back in, and it not freeze. See, the funny part to me is it, didn't do this at Talladega, didn't do this at Michigan, but it's doing it at Charlotte. Oh well.
Yeah, Charlotte's a newer track. I don't know if there's just more stuff in here. Just towards a smaller area. I don't know. I know Charlotte was recently rescanned back in 2018. I want to say. But yeah.
I believe so, because that's when the Roval was, I probably put into the server.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Well, we're still under caution as of right now. This does give some time for Dewey to go ahead and hop into the session, hopefully, but unfortunately, with that wreck.
Yeah, it's not letting me rejoin. Now it says session join still.
Oh, is it grayed out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. It has to wait for you, disconnect. It's works like NR1003, you know what I mean?
This is fun.
Yeah, you just gotta wait for it until it says you drop through.
This is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito.
Glenn Bundren off of that wreck. Unfortunate to him, he's gonna be DNF after getting rammed over by the 01 of Hunter. It's worked into two, but we do have a lot of. This is probably one of our longer races being ran for tonight. A total of 65 laps in total. A total of 65 laps in total. That makes no sense, but 65 laps in total going to be ran here for tonight. That totals up to just about 100 miles, so nearly as big of, as long as a race as the Truck Series. And when trucks go here, I don't know how long the race is going to be for trucks. Let me go ahead and pull up Dan Lisa and see real quick.
Here we go, attempt number 3 for me to get into the server.
Ah, jeez.
It's like a green-white checkered, but for joining.
Field doubles up as they work down the back straightaway. Yeah, only 2 laps off of what you call it. There's only a 2-lap difference of how many laps the trucks run versus how many laps the Xfinity Series. I mean, not the Xfinity Series; these are K&N cars. How many laps the K&N cars run? So, pretty interesting statistic. As we work ourselves into 3, getting ourselves for our first restart of the night. The top 14 staying themselves out on the racetrack. Pace car slides itself onto pit road. The 555 of Rhett will lead it to the green. Charlie Byer going to be in second place. Sean Leisure trying to sneak up in third. The green flag is out as a bit of tire spin as cars goes dead sideways. Keep it straight though, but that allows the 555 to pull away. Leisure going to tuck it in line for second. Side by side for, oh my goodness, for just about 5th or 4th. Here we go, battle for the lead. The 67 Leisure works himself to the low side. Lots of side-by-side racing right behind. These cars are littered all over the place. 3 wide as Sean gets into the wall off of the corner. And that opens up the door for the 555 again. He works himself to the low side and retakes the lead. It's now the 7 of Byer who gets pushed by the 9. work down the back straightaway. Just about 2x2 down the back. Some cars weaving in and out. 7 and Buyer works himself to the low side. Are you there?
Gotcha now.
All right, so sick. You see my screen share?
I gotcha.
All right, cool. All right, we get ourselves set. As he worked into one contact, Miller gets all the way shoved to the apron, and he washes up the track. Nearly gets into the 002. Wow, that was a close call.
But at least he missed everybody else. That could have been big.
Right, look at them right behind. They're scrambling all sorts of places, nearly 3 wide as the 57, Corey H. Hart's is there. The 77, Keaton Jones. The 095, just talking about him, Brendan Sampson. He's in the mix as well. Meanwhile, toward the front, side by side for the lead. The 67 pinches that 555 right up off the corner. A new leader, Sean Leisure.
Like I said in the pre-race, the Prox guys are usually really strong at tracks like this, and Sean Leisure is doing a good job in proving me right. So now I got to see how long he can hold it, and if the 555 or the 7's got something for him.
Right, and they're sort of stacking up here for second place to the high side, the 002. Perry Grindle wants to make something go on the high side as he works himself to the outside of the 7. Can he get a run off of the 2? Looks like he will, and oh my goodness, the car wove in and out as he's credit card swiping the wall. He's still trying to work that outside though, trying to make that line work. So right now, he's still staying in tow with that 7. I'm fairly surprised with this new tire model. He's staying in touch. So work down the front straightaway side by side. Still, Perry blinking out. This is a slight, but he does have the outside line in a 1 and 2.
Harry Grindle is one blinky boy right now. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems with people behind him, possibly neck coating into him or anything. But regardless of that, he's still having a pretty strong run so far.
As we look right behind, double wide action, also right behind the 57, Corey H. Hart's making his return out here tonight. He's currently holding up the 095, Brendan Sampson, and the 22 of Harrison Chandler. Chandler currently running in 9th place, side by side. Still, he's working at 3 and looking up front, oh my goodness, 3 wide, and the 002 trying to work that very high side of the racetrack. Just sort of boxed in, nowhere to go.
Pretty aggressive move there by Charlie Byer to get underneath that 555 as he barely was able to squeeze his car into turn 3 and still trying to make the pass. Still hasn't quite gotten it yet.
How far they're squeezing out. This is going to allow the 002 to get a peek to the inside, but he's not going to take it. Not going to force the issue and take it 3 wide, but they're still side by side for this position.
Is Eric Heater's making his way in too.
Right, that 11 of Heater, I was about to mention it. They're still stacked 2x2. It's just allowing Leisure to just pull away. He's already gone by a whole second.
Oh yeah, Sean Leisure's loving every second of this, but hope, Byers might clear him out at 2. I think he does, but Heater's right there, so Byers' he's still got work cut out for him here.
Right. We're just talking about Heater, how he started toward the tail end of the field. All the way in 18th. How about him making himself forward? Currently up to P4 as he's still trying to look around. The 7 of Byer who opens up the door for the inside. Here comes Heater. Right down low. They go side by side as Rhett washes up the track. Oh boy, they're looking 3. Close racing.
Corey H. Hart's in the 57's looking to battle with these 4 here as he's catching the 002 behind them. So it looks like we got a 5-car battle for second now. This is getting good.
Heater has a run around the 555, but Rhett is pinning him down. Really anywhere to pass as of right now. You see the 002 wash up the racetrack.
Big wash up.
I am surprised they did not make any contact. That would have been disastrous. You see a car on the wall right behind. It's Keaton Jones. Oh! It's Eric Stamp. In the 09, who barely avoided. Wow. That was close.
Oh,
Peter,
wow. What a big
wow.
block.
Peter's going to become impatient because he's definitely one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Rez, definitely a huge
fire on the inside now, too.
He's trying to
That's
cross
a door
over.
shot on him.
Oh, he's going to get a push down the back.
Here he comes.
Here he goes. Right to the inside.
And Grendel is to run on fire as well now. With they drafted each other to go. Whoa!
Oh! Near contact as he worked right up off of 4. They're still side by side for second place. Leisure's now pulled up to a 1.5 second lead.
I think the 555 might have brushed the wall right there coming in at turn 1, but seems to have not cost him much ground at all.
Brett's gonna pull away yet again. Oh, the 7 applier tags the wall. That was interesting. He tagged it right in the dead center of the straightaway. I don't know why, but
that allows the 57 of Hearts to get past him. Oh, no, Byer has a run on the outside now. He gained that momentum back pretty quickly, as Eric Heater still has not managed to get by that 555 yet. Like Ezeckiel said, he's probably going to get really impatient soon, and there might be some contact from this one, as he had a slow car in the apron. Not sure who that was, but Heater's there still.
20 of Austin Griffey, who was slow on the apron. He goes 3 laps down. Meanwhile, this battle for second place is heating up. Looking right behind the 7 and 57 to go side by side. Corey H. Hartz and Charlie Byer duking it out, and that's going to allow Miller to be the car to watch this battle. Is it work coming here into 1 and 2? Look at the run Heater got.
Wow. Still can't quite pass him yet. But that was a big
in the wall.
That's like the same place that Byer got it. That's bizarre. It's now 2 cars that have gotten the wall in the middle of the backstretch.
I don't know if there's like something that just washes these cars up, and Miller tries to go hard into the wall.
Hopefully nobody else hit him, but what a hard hit for Corey H. Hartz as the caution will fly, and someone else does. It's the one of Carson Poindexter has piled into the wreckage.
We're going to see what happened as they worked right up off, and looks like, well, Miller had a huge run. He wanted to take it 3. They were already stacked up. 57. A Byer was looking low. You see right there.
Oh, big hit. That's probably going to end both of their nights.
Right.
As when Hartz got originally first turned, Harry Grendel barely missed getting hit by that. That was like by inches. Guess tonight's Harry Grendel's lucky day because he was inches away from getting piled into that wreck.
So we're back under caution for the, I think the 3rd or 4th time tonight. No, I'm lying. 2nd time tonight we've been under a caution. Obviously Miller gonna take the penalty for that one. EOL penalty for him.
The advantage for Miller, though, is despite getting an EOL, is if people decide to stay out, he will have fresher tires. But forget everything I just said because the entire field is going to come down to pit. So Miller will have his work cut out for him now to make his way back up to the front.
All right, leading the field onto pit road is the 57. I mean, not the 57, the 67. Sean Leisure. Work themselves into their stalls and go ahead and slap on 4.
As William Schmidt with a 1,028 second pit stop here is something's up with his pit crew. I'm not sure what's going on there, but
17 minutes. On his stop. He's probably repairing some damage right now. Currently 24 laps down. Last in the field is currently, but they would to work themselves off of pit road. One driver going to stay himself out. That's going to be the 74 of John Casanero, who's going to stay himself on the racetrack. Interesting on that call. I don't know why. I guess he's just going to come in next time by. But Sean Leisure won the race off of pit road in that 67.
perhaps just a move to get a lap led, get a bonus point, even though title's already locked up, but, you know, can't hurt to lead a lap.
Right.
As looks like Austin Griffey is getting the wave around as well here, because
Right.
he's first car in line.
Yeah,
And
here's 74.
Yep.
Got multiple wave arounds. One of them is actually your points leader. 45 of Webster made the field just in time. There he is, your champion.
He snuck his way in. I didn't even notice he joined the session.
Yeah, me neither. He's going to be in P15 after he takes the wave around. So Webster suddenly a semi-contender, but he did not pit last time. And he's 22 laps in his run. So if this thing goes green, it's not going to work out for him. Because that pit window is just only... It's fairly small. It's just 25 to 30 laps. But you have to keep in mind caution laps as well. Laps pit.
One of those
pit.
drivers is not like the other.
Right. Hunter Ellis. The 01. Pitted 2 laps ago. I think he just came down earlier than when these leaders came in. That's interesting. Because if he did, he would shuffle in front. Alright, as we get ourselves set for this next green flag run, we're gonna go ahead and fly through the field fairly quickly. Up front, currently, Sean Leisure. Started in second, lowest he's dropped back was third. He's currently in first as of right now. Rhett Nichols in that number 555.
You can barely see the fives, but you can see how good he's driven tonight. So
Yeah. Currently second. Highest was up in there in the lead. He obviously won the pole. Third place is going to be Harry. In that 02 or 002. Charlie Byer, fourth, or actually Charlie's in third. Harry's in fourth. Harrison Chandler is going to be the 5th place car, and there's Heater. I was just talking about him. He started himself toward the rear of the field, and here he is in 6th place.
his highest was third at one point. So I don't think Eric Heater's done yet tonight. Depending on how this restart shakes out, I would expect Heater to possibly be in the top 3 by the end of the next lap.
Right.
Eric Heater is a man on a mission.
Mm-hmm. Restarts are really, really essential, and you could get going fairly fast on the off of restarts. That bottom line is the way to go. So I'm expecting everybody to pull forward here, but we'll have to see on how it'll go for all these drivers. Gotta keep in mind tire spin as well. I was surprised to see that, just a slight, as you took the second restart, but those were on old tires, here we are on new, but of course cold tires do play into effect. Pace car slides itself on the pit road. Sean Leisure in the 67 will lead the field to the green.
Ooh, he got a really good start right there, as he's already going to pull away from that 555. I don't know if he didn't go or if Leisure just got that good of a start, but either way, he's already got a pretty good-sized lead on the rest of the field.
Yeah, as a leader, you could go whenever you'd like to. There's not any restart zones or any specific place you go come into the green flag. So that 67 Leisure, all he really has to do is just, as long as he keeps his car straight and as long as he knows how to time it and when to go, he could pull himself a huge lead in already 0.5 seconds over Rhett in that 555.
And looks like I was right, as Eric Heater, like I said, he's already in the top 3 at the end of that next lap. So he got a really good start, as he's already managed to get by a couple of cars here. And as we saw before that last caution came out, he's already going to work on that 555 again.
Here we go. These two are going to meet. The last time they gave each other just a small bit of room. Look at the run Heater got through the center of the corner. Can't really go anywhere off of exit, but oh, the 555 cutting off Heater right on the dogleg. That's a really dangerous part of the track. With the new rescan, the dogleg is much sharper than what it was a couple years back when they scanned it back in 2016. or 2008, I think that scan was, but it was
That's
definitely
a big difference,
yeah.
but point there.
Yeah. Here comes Heater with a
Another
run.
big run. Here he comes.
Peeks to the low side. Oh, blinks out.
I think he's got it now. He'll have the advantage into turn 1 as he's got the preferred low line here. But 555 might get a run out of turn 2. This may not be wrapped up for Heater yet.
Yeah, you could pinch a lot, especially at a high bank 1.5 miler like this track. That 555 could pinch right up off the corner, make something happen right off, but he's not really pinching, and he's still getting some momentum off of that outside line. I'm fairly surprised on how much that 555 of Rhett is holding out. As Heater wants to plow himself into the mix, so he clipped the apron just a slight. Look how low he is on the corner. I think it's just upsetting his car, hence why the 555 of Rhett can get the run off the corner. Heater needs to stop hitting that apron as we're on board of him as he heads himself into 3. A bit tight as of right now, but these two
Still
are
hasn't gotten past
side by
him.
side, right?
And these two being side by sides allowed the 7 of Charlie Byer to gain some time on those two, so this could become a 3-car battle fairly quickly here. And there he is. He's already almost at Heater's bumper now.
The more you run side by side, the more you lose some time, and that's just gonna stack everybody from second on back, unless somebody gives, which now or never, it has to be the 11 of Heater. As you see how high the 555 wants to get a run right up off the corner. That camera is shitty. Apologies about that in my language, but anyway, we work ourselves at the start-finish line. Heater finally works himself into the place he wanted to be, and now all he has to do is just pull away from the 555.
Now Heater can set his sights on that on the leader, Sean Leisure, as I think he's led pretty much every lap except for that one under caution, so dominant car of the day for sure, so let's see if Heater's got anything for him now, as we're just now over halfway through the race.
They work themselves right up off the corner, and you see Rhett slowly falling back. Doesn't have the pace to keep up with his top two, Sean Leisure, Eric Heater. Heater is probably the fastest car on the racetrack. He's definitely faster than that number 65 of Sean.
Almost
Heater,
a whole mile an hour faster, yeah.
Right, and he's going to slowly start catching that 67 of Leisure. It's just how you're going to pass him, because it took a while for Heater to whip around that number 555 of Rhett. But as they work right off the corner, Rhett still opened up the door for that 7 of Byer, but as they work to the front straightaway, all the way right against that blue line to keep that position, they work themselves into 1 and 2. These two are probably going to be reminiscent of how Heater and Rhett went.
As when Heater got by the 555 and Nichols, Sean Leisure's lead was just under a second, and now it's been closed down to about 7/10, so Eric Heater's already gaining some time on that 67 car.
Right, there is that number 67 is Sean, as they work themselves down into 1 and 2. Not really much to say as of right now, as the field itself around this 1.5 mile quad oval, about all the way back to the 9 of Nick Miller, and pulled themselves away from 8th place of Brandon Sampson, and as well as Eric Stamp in this 2-car tango here for P8. You scroll all the way back to 10th. This is the 00 of Garrett Hess. John Kaznezero is also in the mix as well. Kilo Hankins, Hunter Ellis still on the racetrack, as well as Matthew Klein.
Looks like Sean Leisure's lead is kind of leveled off here a little bit. It looks like Heater hasn't been able to gain that much more time in the last 2 or so laps. So either Heater's tires have worn off more, or Leisure's just got more speed now, even in clean air.
Right. Just how these tires are. Push them too hard, as you see the interesting.
It's Webster.
Yeah, it's Webster. He tried to stay on the lead lap and stayed himself out on the racetrack to get himself.
Leisure hit the apron there trying to get by him, as that's going to allow Heater to gain some more time on him.
Yeah, trying to
a lot of time on him. Wow.
And that's what lap traffic does. Costs you a ton of time, and you see the 45 still has to get those tires up to speed. Webster's going to be faster than Heater and Sean, as now there's a whole line of cars all the way back to that 002 of Harry as Leisure
I think
tagged
Leisure
the wall
got the
into
wall,
three.
yeah. It's the third or fourth car now that's gotten the wall in the backstretch. That's pretty peculiar.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I've never seen drivers just be so attracted to the outside wall as Webster letting some drivers by.
It's like Heater
tying
the wall. Yeah. Says Leisure's lead is now under half a second, so Webster being where he did, it definitely allowed Heater to close in just a little more, but still not quite there.
Now with how many to go this time by, as we got the crap camera angle again, with these with 17 laps on Leisure's tires, 17 laps in this run, 24 to go, I would suggest these people split the run in half and come in about, I'd say, for 20 to go. I think would be a good start to go. A good police. Or you want to pit.
Doing that would also give you enough fuel left over where if we exhaust all 3 green-white checkered attempts, you wouldn't have to pit during any one of those as well. Because in the Bronze Series, anything's possible, and there will probably be at least 1 green-white checkered tonight.
Right. You see right here, the 555 of Rhett is pulled up to the backside of that number 11 of Heater. Maybe that's Heater's warning that those tires are starting to wear out. He probably wants to come in this time by, maybe later in a moment.
As with the 2 cars of Nichols and Byer catching up, they could potentially draft themselves up to the back bumper of Sean Leisure. So if these 4 can all pit together in a little group, they could come out around the same place, and we might have a battle for the lead between 3 or 4 different cars.
Right. Yeah, just 4 cars within a second of Sean, including Sean himself. I'd say 3 cars: Heater, Nichols, and Byer. But Sean still maintaining a gap between him and second place, as Heater now going to run the second line. That's interesting. You see some drivers run up against that middle groove, but he makes it work right up off the corner. Bit of taste of his own medicine for that number 55, who's trying to work, who tried all the time to work himself around that 11.
He'll have a run here. I'm not sure if he'll get it, but his presence is known. I think he might have it here.
Yeah, it looks like Heater got tight.
And he's whoa! And he's got it for now. We'll see if Heater gets a run off for the turn, but with Byer behind him, that draft will be.
Whoa!
Well, never mind
3
that.
wide.
3 wide down the. Nope. Looks like Byer backed out.
That was interesting. The 555 of Rhett, he slipped the corner in 2, and Byer took a peek to the low side. He wanted to take it 3, and since these cars are running side by side, it's just going to allow Sean to start pulling away again. And you see that gap growing to just about a second.
Looks like Heater might have just gotten the wall again. Not sure, but these camera angles are good-ent. But probably won't affect his performance at all. But he's still got to worry about those. Oh wow!
Yellow on the racetrack, and this one involves the 09 of Stamp, who probably went flipping.
Looks like he did. I was about to say Nick Miller had climbed himself up into the top 5 right before that caution came out, and oh my goodness, what a violent accident that is.
Oh my gosh!
Oh jeez! And then I think that was the 74 of John Cannizzaro that tagged him and sent him flipping once again.
Get a replay of it again.
Very weird wreck there.
It's gonna hit a big reset.
Wow!
Drivers are going to be on the lead lap now, as I'm going to go ahead and adjust this real quick before anything bizarre happens. Save my camera angle. Apologies about the ratchet way, but as you said, just got tight and whipped it right to go ahead and avoid around that car, and the car just toppled.
That's a very weird way to flip the car. And then this, just, my goodness, up into the catch fence. Luckily that catch fence doing its job, but it's too bad for that 74. Not sure how much damage this will give him. It looks like you can see some in the right front of his car, but it's too bad. He had a top 10 run going, so that's too bad for the 74.
The pace car, I mean, Pace cars past pit entry, and pit road is open this time by. These drivers going to whip down onto pit road, and this is going to be the money stop right here. This is going to make or break your day, and hopefully all these drivers could get a great pit stop, because if they come out at the wrong place, track position just means way, way too much, especially with new tires.
On a side note, it's a good thing that Nick Miller's the first car for pit road. Wow. Leisure, Nichols, and I think that was Heater coming off in fourth. But as I was saying, it's a good thing that pit road collisions are turned off in the pit stalls, because in real life you'd have cars junked all over the place during that round of pit stops.
Right. The way how iRacing works with collisions on pit road, if you're in a stall, like on the stall lane, like to the far left, you're not going to collide with any car. But if you're far right, like on the actual pit road itself, see Heater checking up, you're gonna see some collisions on the middle and outside lane. But we gotta go ahead and focus in on this number 9 and Nick Miller, who's electing with 2 tires. I'm fairly surprised he elected with 2, honestly, because Miller, this is, I don't know how many laps we ran last run, about 22, but unfortunately I don't think those right sides or left sides are just gonna hold up for that number 9. All these drivers are just whipping around the road course.
I mentioned during one of the commercial breaks that as a joke, we should have heat races here, and during the heat race, you should have to take a Joker lap through the chicane. So looks like they telepathically heard what I said and decided to do it. So, but I wonder if Nick Miller's banking on there being a lot more cautions, as they say, cautions breed cautions, because with the rest of the field presumably taking 4 and Miller taking 2, I would assume that his tire fall off for the tires he did not replace will probably be much greater than the 4 new ones on every other car. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out now, with just 16 to go.
Right. Yeah, if this thing goes green from this point forward, it's definitely not going to play into Miller's favor. So, he has to have cautions go his way. Hopefully, it'll just play into his favor. As you said, cautions breed cautions, and we're coming down to the end of the race. We have still about 13 cars on the lead lap. Still anybody's race. If we get another late caution, if we do get a solid green flag run and a late caution, will drivers go back on the pit road? We might see a bit of strategy there coming for the next caution.
As Austin Griffey has decided to, another one, doing the chicane again.
He totally blew it.
It went through the grass.
He blew.
As this is as we're going to be going green this time by, is the 20 will pull by and circle around to the back, and we'll line them up and go back green again.
All right. iSCAR lights are off.
As the 74 of John Cannizzaro, despite being involved in that nasty-looking wreck with that 09 of Eric Stamp, still in 9th place, which is where he was when it happened. So perhaps that damage is just cosmetic, and he nothing aerodynamically or with the engine got any messed up at all. Still a solid run for him, so hopefully he maintains it.
All right, so we're as the field works themselves down the back straightaway. Oh boy, with this caution, it's a big reset switch. And now Leisure is going to be stuck behind a bit of traffic. Will only has 1 car in his way. We'll see how Miller in that 9 is going to defend with just taking 2 tires. In my opinion, he's not going to survive. We'll have to see on how he comes out off of this mess. And the field works themselves down off of turn number 4. Getting set for the restart. The pace car slides itself onto pit road. Nick Miller in the 9 hits the throttle. We're back up and away, and Rhett gets a nice restart.
Green's out. Green flag. Green
Heater
flag.
did as well. He might go 3 wide in the trial over here for 2nd place.
Not really going to go anywhere, but it's not. Close up the gap at 1 and 2. He's got to peek down to the low side. Great move by the 11. He snuck in and snuck out.
Miller's maintaining it for now, but like we were saying before, with him only taking 2 tires, there's no way to know how long he can sustain this for. As that 555 seems to be holding on for dear life for second place so far.
Whoa.
Oh, big crossover move by Leisure there.
Yeah, pulling it up dead on the straightaway in the quad oval rather than in the turn. We got a wreck behind.
Chandler. And he stays it. Brindle's going to go around. Teammates involved. That's Garrett Hess. And Hess goes up on his side. Oh, and Heater got wrecked.
Yeah, I was looking forward, and Heater got wrecked as well as the caution came out. So 2 separate wrecks happening all at once. We'll get a replay of what happened as the field slowed down back to speed, and a big wreck in 1 and 2 brings us back under caution. You see right here, it looks like,
looks like Chandler chopped him, and then Bayer got into Grindle, and then Grindle's teammate Garrett Hess nowhere to go, and you can see the wall. You can see Heater spinning in the background. Not sure what precipitated that though. We'll have to check that out still. Oh, looks like Leisure got on the apron and just washed right up into him. And Heater just wasn't able to save it.
Heater.
Oh, we did get the inside wall.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's just cosmetic like that damage on John Canizaro's car is, but either way, he'll probably have to pit for tires now. And
yeah, definitely.
I mean, Heater started from the back, so he's shown he's capable of getting to the front like that, but now we'll have to see if he can do it again with just probably about 9 laps to go. Is you see and Miller faked him out, but
Bayer goes in.
The 408 teammates of I think Bayer and Hankins do decide to come in for service.
Interesting why they're coming in this time by. We only ran at least 2 laps on the racetrack, so those tires, they're just gonna be cold again. They haven't really gotten up to speed and up to grip and temperature. That means it's just gonna do that number 9 and Miller a bit more well, I guess. As you see, I think that's the 45, but Cody Webster is gonna get the wave around.
As Harrison Chandler, despite spinning in that caution, will restart 4th as he was able to save his car and keep it going. So I don't know if he'll pit for tires next time by or not, but I would assume that spin definitely took some wear off of them.
Right.
As Hunter Ellis has now made himself up into the top 5 in that 01 car, and I mentioned John Canizaro a minute ago. He's up to 6th now, so pretty solid run for him in what I believe is his first start of the season in any series.
It should be a lot of fun to see on how these drivers will sort for tonight. But if you're not just joining us here for tonight's broadcast, we'll continue here live as we're coming up on just about 10 laps remaining here in the Charlotte 97. The Bronze Series is about to, in the finale, we're about to end it off with one heck of a show. As currently up front, Nick Miller in the number 9 machine has retained his position just with 2 tires. And with this new tire model, it just allows that opportunity.
As some drivers just faked each other out taking the chicane back there.
Yeah.
Just some under caution antics.
Yeah, that's the 21 of Austin Johnson. Johnson is currently 15 laps down. I keep calling him Brian, but Brandon Sampson is also scurrying around there.
Shout out to Matthew Klein in that 26 car. Got a lot of damage in that first wreck of the day, I believe, with the 98 of Glenn Bunger, and while my session was frozen. But he's found himself up in 7th place now. So I don't know how much. I don't know why Leisure's falling back like that, but I don't know how much damage in terms of car performance Klein has. But since he started racing again, I don't think he's gotten a top 10. So this is potentially a great finish for him today.
I think Leisure just got sent to the rear with a penalty with contact with Eric Heater off of 2. Even though it wasn't the initial point of contact, looks like Leisure 2 is also going to get a penalty for...
So that's going to put Harrison Chandler up into 3rd, and that's going to put that 74 car of Canizaro up in the top 5 on this restart.
Interesting.
And look at that 45 of Cody Webster. Look at him now in the top 10 when these closing laps of the race. Your 2020 Bronze Series champion. Even though he's already won the title, I'm sure he's still hungry for wins, so you never know what he might be able to do in these last 10 laps.
Yeah, even though he got the wave around last time by, he's going to have to get sent all the way to the rear of the field because of the Lucky Dog, because of Lucky Dog rules. So we'll see and how the number 45 of Webster will go for the restart. 1 to go this time by finally.
Yeah, as Webster's now been shuffled back. As Heater's still in 10th despite that contact, but Webster's still only in 12th because there's a lot of guys that are lapped down. About almost half the field's at least 1 or more laps down. So, you know, Webster's got a shot. There's only 8 to go, but you never know. Crazier things have happened, like last week.
Right. In my opinion, this is all playing to that number 55. I mean, not 55, but the 555 of Rhett's favor, because with all the amount of damaged cars and all the cars staying out on the racetrack,
he's got the freshest tires. Yeah.
Yeah. Miller has 2, but we'll see on how
Chandler
Miller handles the restart.
Right, and Chandler spun in that last incident that did not pit, so his tires are probably on par with where Miller's are. So with them both on the bottom line, this could open the door for Hunter Ellis and that 01 to possibly gain a spot or 2 on this restart, depending on where his tires are too.
Yeah, he also has damage off of that first wreck in the 1 and 2, but we'll have to see on how it'll shuffle out. A lot of fast drivers are in the rear, but Miller is hungry for, I think, his first Bronze Series win. Pace car slides itself on the pit road this time by Miller. Hits the throttle. We're back in the way. Charlotte. Field singles out as they work themselves into turn number 1. Chandler. And that 22 is looking hungry, but I think those tires are the way he spun. It's not working to his favor. Miller is pulling though ahead as look at the blocking right behind.
Wow, big block by Matthew Klein in that 26 car, blocking that 096 to Sampson. As they looks like they're both gonna get big run by the 74, but he has to let off.
Oh!
Wow. He's going through the grass.
Whoa, he ramped out.
Wow.
That's a 7 of Beyer who kept himself straight. Reminds me of NR 2003 as one car gets into the wall.
I think that was Johnson. Yeah, Charlie Beyer should enter the Summer X Games for Big Air, as he got he got Big Air there on the front stretch. As the Winter X Games just wrapped up, I believe, a couple days ago. But you know, if Charlie Beyer waits a couple months, and you know, never know.
Man, I think 2 tires are going to play up to Miller's favor. He has a decent gap over that 555 of Rhett. It's just a matter of how he's going to pass him. But meanwhile, in the back, these people are scrambling for position.
They're all clustered together as Heater and Leisure are trying to make their way through this jarbled mess of cars here, or jumbled mess rather. But with the amount of them, their gaps to go are few and far between here. As Leisure and Heater are both currently being held up here by the 26 and 74.
Oh, that's a great save by Klein to keep himself straight. Leisure got into him, and I don't think Klein's going to be happy about that. Leisure, obviously.
Leisure probably won't be happy either. He's probably getting really impatient being stuck behind all these guys back here now.
Definitely. Right up off the corner and still side by side. And Klein going to fall more spots to the back. And meanwhile up front, that gap is closing.
As the 22 and the 01 have fallen off, so it looks like this is a 2-horse race now for the checkered flag here today. As with just 4 laps to go, I think Heater and Leisure at this point are probably too far back to make a run. Out. And there they go. Oh, that's a huge crash.
Klein's on his roof.
Over. Oh! And someone just arc braked into that. That was Chloe Hankins ramming into his teammate Charlie Beyer. As the 408 guys probably won't be happy at the shop about that, as 2 of their cars just got junked up. And just as I said that Heater and Leisure wouldn't have another shot, now they do.
Looks like
Leisure turned Canizaro, looks like, and Hankins and Klein had nowhere to go, and looks like, and there's where Beyer hit Hankins, and as Klein flipped over just like Eric Stamp did on that, I think 2 cautions ago, it's just ramped right up. Oh.
Wow, it's a weird flip. I've never seen a car just topple like that. It looks laughable. My goodness, he just slapped into him, and I don't know how you explain that. iRacing physics are just getting more questionable by every update. My goodness.
as Matthew Klein is, unfortunately, his top 10 day has come to a crashing halt here as he is retired and Byers presumably got a lot of damage. Not sure. He's not pitting, though.
Well, you only have 2 laps to make something happen. I might as well stay out and hope for as many positions. And I don't even think any driver out on the racetrack pitted. I'm surprised. Not even the last place driver. Last person on the lead lap of Harry Grindle pitted.
And even with the amount of cars that are lapped down, even despite being in that wreck, John Cannizzaro was still in 8th place, despite all the wrecks he's been in tonight. So that's a bronze race, folks. Is Cody Webster's now up into 7th place. So he's not out of this either. It's a green-white checkered, only 2 to go, but like we were saying, crazier things have happened here.
Right, and I think, let me just check. Yep, Sean Leeser just disconnected from the race.
Oh, he must have been in that wreck and we didn't notice it.
Yeah, well, he caused the initial contact, but by the looks of it, he just left after that. So
potentially could have gotten another lap penalty for that, for it being a second incident.
Yeah, with just 2 to go, you're not going to be in contention. So Sean just, I guess, just dipped out. So that means that'll move a couple of cars forward. Byer.
Who's left? I mean, no, it won't move anybody up. Chloe Hankins is the next car on track, and he's a lap down on pit road. So it looks like we might only have 9 cars finish this race. So even with Leisure disconnecting, he still might be guaranteed a top 10 finish, unless Byer limps his way around and passes him.
Yeah, now he'll himself on a pit road.
So Leisure's still got a shot at a top 10 here. We'll have to see.
Alright, as the field works himself to the start-finish line, Miller's 2 tires is still surviving, but Rhett was really closing up. We'll have to see on how... Oh my gosh, the heater just flying into the picture. Scared me. Scared me just a moment.
He'll be flying into the He'll be flying into the picture on the restart if he can manage to get by the couple cars in front of him.
Yeah, he has the freshest tires out of this top 10. We'll pull up the lap graphic on the right-hand side of the screen. Only 9 laps on his tires, so if he can make something happen, if that number 11 of heater can make something happen, he's going to be in P6 for the restart. He's going to have to work around the 01 of Ellis and catch this top 2.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Rhett Nichols might be in the best position to win this race, depending on how much tire wear Nick Miller's tires have. Because even though Miller and Nichols both last pitted at the same time, Miller's 2 tires that he didn't take last time are much, much more worn out than whether they're rights or lefts than Nichols are. So this will be interesting to see here how much more or how much longer Miller's tires will hold up. So with that, I think Nichols has the best shot to win, with Heater will have to navigate throughout the 3 cars in front of him that are slower.
Right, I think this time by we'll get the 1 to go signal as Miller, that number 9, will be, I don't know how many laps he's led toward the front.
I think at least 10 now.
Yeah.
With the caution laps we've
had, actually.
At 15, yeah.
He's led more laps than that 555 of Rhett Nichols.
As Leisure dominated that early part of the race until all those cautions started coming out, and with him ended up causing 2 of them. You know, part of that, he ended up knocking himself out.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate for him, but here we go, coming for the green flag this time by. Number 9 of Miller, top 10. Well, yeah, just 9 cars on the lead lap. It's Byer by himself. If there's 3 attempts at a green-white checkered, if there were to be a caution, that means Byer put himself on the lead lap. But you can only hope so much when there's just 9 cars on the lead lap.
I don't think Byer would have anything for the leaders though, because he was just got a lot of damage from that wreck. But
right.
A lead lap top 10 finish, still a decent end of the season.
Right. I mean, if the white flag waves and Byer's on the lead lap, they could wreck it, and Byer would, even though he has a slow car, he would work around the wrecked cars. So it'd be beneficial to be on the lead lap here in this type of situation.
As I don't know if there's someone blinking or disconnected, but there's a huge gap on the inside line there.
It's behind 74.
He might be laying back a bit.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be a little farther up than he is.
don't know if he
think he's
wants to
supposed
go
to
on the
win the
restart, but
45.
here we go. Green flag. Oh, no. Rhett tried to jump it.
Oh!
Green.
Oh, wow. And here comes Heater on the outside.
Wow.
Nobody else went. As I think Chandler got stacked up. I think Miller might have spun the tires a little bit.
No, I think Miller was trying to go on a bit later.
Big
Then
block
that
by
555.
Nichols there.
Here comes Heater.
Heater's
He's
already
there.
on the outside.
Again, he has the newest tires out of this.
Ellis
Top 5.
coming low on that 22 at Chandler, coming into 3. As Austin Johnson's 15 laps down, so he's in that battle for himself, but he's not in there for position. And we have made it to the white flag, so one last shot for Nichols and Heater to try and get by Miller.
Yellow came out, though, before they crossed the start-finish line. Looks like we got a wreck right up off the corner. And that'll put the 7 a lead lap. And this looks like it involves the 20 of Austin Griffey.
Oh, who was 5 laps down. And yeah, he was 5 laps down. One of those lap cars coming back to bite you. And he just lost it.
Yeah, just lost it.
Wow. Big hit into the outside wall.
Yeah, and
The buyer just missed him.
now that's going to benefit Heater because he's going to be behind the leader. And those people
on
are
the bottom, too.
Mhm.
This will be interesting.
And Byer's going to be on the lead lap now because of it.
Gotta wonder if now with Heater presumably starting behind Nick Miller, how willing would you be to block?
I don't know. Those the 11 and 9 are teammates. So
that's true, but
Miller's hungry for one because he hasn't gotten a win in this series, I don't think. We'll go ahead and pull up the points because Miller's been winless for a while. I know he's picked up a win a couple of times, but yeah, Miller, Logan won Daytona, Keaton won Michigan, Jonathan Hernandez won Atlanta, Christopher Wheel won the Iowa race, Cody Webster won the Richmond race, Webster again won Richmond, Christopher Wheel again at Pocono, Heater won Homestead, Wheeler won Talladega, and yeah, Miller is probably going to be, Heater already has a win on his back, so I'm pretty sure Miller not going to be cooperating with his teammate here for the restart. So,
just an interesting tidbit here. So as you just listed the winners off, Heater and Webster are the only 2 cars in the top 10 that have a win in bronze this season. So there's an overwhelming shot here that unless Heater can do some magical stuff here and quickly get by those 2, we'll probably have a first-time winner this season in the last race. However, Charlie Byer did win the opening Cup Series race at Daytona. And I'm sure Charlie Byer would rather win a Cup race than a bronze race. So,
speaking of Charlie, I think he actually disconnected. I don't know why, but Charlie.
So I think we only have 9 cars, or Chloe Hankins might end up finishing 10th now.
No,
with
he's
him
still
only
on pit road, and he hasn't been on track.
We only have 9 cars finished then. Wow.
Right. Interesting.
That's the silver lining for Cody Webster, I guess. You know, even though he's in 9th, he can't lose any more spots.
Mm-hmm.
It's only up from here. And I don't
know what Stamp's doing, but
Eric Stamp with some under caution shenanigans. He's already flipped in this race, so I don't think he's got much to lose now.
Yeah, currently running P17. Actually, P16 now. He works around Austin Johnson at 21, who's also 16 laps down. Already disconnected from the session. Yeah. Look how many. Well, I don't want to say look how many people are on pit road when all the signs are blocking in. Looks like just about 4 people on pit road as of right now. So.
Well, someone's pulling off, but yeah, it's Garrett Hess in the 00, but he's many, many laps down, 10 now, as he went up on his side during that couple wrecks ago, so looks like a typical ARCA race, I guess.
Alright, I guess. And I think this is our 2nd attempt for this green white checkered, and let me go ahead and pull back the panel.
We got a Ezeckiel failed tech. Disgusting.
Yeah. What is this, 5 Flag Speedway?
Ricky Brooks looking.
This
is when you do that super late model race at 5 Flags, it's only a true race there if you disqualify someone for literally no reason. Get nastied.
Field works himself to the start-finish line. The 9 of Miller. 55. I'm not the 55, the triple 5.
So we're going green this time now.
Right.
Pace lights are off.
Again, it all benefits that number. This number, what you call it? This 11 of Heater, who has the freshest tires out of everybody in this top 5. So he's starting behind the leader, Miller, who's also his teammate. We'll see if
Cannonzaro almost hit Grendel right there.
Yeah,
Presumably by accident, but it looks like Cannonzaro, like last time, he's laying off a lot. I don't know why he's doing that, but probably won't affect the outcome of the race anyway, unless he manages to cause a wreck that way. But I keep thinking, every time I look at that, I keep thinking someone just blinking.
Yeah. Another driver we haven't really talked about, the 096, Brandon Sampson. Currently running P6. He's been quiet most of this race. Has run toward the tail end of the lead lap. But with the amount of cars that's wrecked it, he now has a chance at the top 10. Or maybe a top 5.
If he can make his way around Ellis and or Chandler, I think he's got a good shot at a top 5 here.
Alright, the field works himself to the start-finish line as my dog's scratching on the door. Getting ourselves set. The pace car slides itself on in. And the green flag is gone.
Green.
I think the 555 spun his tires on that restart. He wobbled a little bit across the line. And that's going to open the door for Heater to potentially make a run on his boss here into turn 1.
Miller Motorsports, student and teacher right there, 1 and 2. And Miller with 2 tires, of course, the 11 with 4. It's not working with him. You see the blocking in the background.
His Chandler's falling back, but Sampson's going to have a run here for 4th on Ellis. I think he's going to get it out of 4 here. Solid run for that 096. There he goes.
Yep,
We've hit the white flag.
White flag this time by.
I think Nichols might have it here. Oh, you got the apron. That's going to allow Heater to get a run on the outside, but with these two battling it out, that's all Nick Miller needs. Oh, and Cannonzaro's into the wall big time. He'd be able to limp it around, though. Last chance for Nichols. Looks like it's not going to be enough. League co-owner Nick Miller will take the W, the fat W here at Charlotte to wrap up the Bronze Series season.
That's a solid way to cap yourself off for Miller Motorsports. He's going to go ahead and Tokyo Drift it into 1 and 2. My goodness, what a win for him in that number 9 machine. Peter alongside of him, going to come home in 3rd, unfortunately. But
and your 2019-2020 iSCAR Bronze Series champion is that 45, Cody Webster. Congratulations, another Miller Motorsports driver. So we'll have a double Miller Motorsports burnout here tonight as co-owner and team owner wins the race and driver wins the championship. Good night for that team.
Yeah, and Miller Motorsports is going to burn it down here for...
Might have a triple burnout.
Yeah, Miller... All these 3 drivers, I'm pretty sure they all stacked up wins as Heater goes ahead.
There you go.
Congratulatory, whip around.
Burn it down, Nick. You finally got one.
Yep. And there's Webster right in front of your screen.
There's your championship burnout.
He's gonna burn it out.
Don't see much of this anymore, especially in real life NASCAR with the new chase format that's been put in, but this is always something I looked forward to at Homestead with the double burnouts. There's Heater. We got a triple burnout going now.
Just whole team.
You just love to see it, unless you're not driving for Miller Motorsports.
Yeah. Full results going to be shown in front of your screen as they do the burnouts in the background. Nick Miller caps off the season with a win. Brett Nichols comes up short. Eric Heater comes home in 3rd. Brandon Sampson, I was just talking about him, shoving himself in the top 5. He does complete it. The 096 rounds himself out in 4th. Hunter Ellis, Harrison Chandler, Cody Webster, your champion in that number 45 machine. Harry Grindle, John Canizero, they're out in 9th. Charlie Byer in 10th. Sean Leisure, Kiloa Hankins, Matthew Klein, Austin Griffey, Garrett Hess, Eric Stamp, Austin Johnson, William Schmidt, Corey Hartz, Carson Poindexter round out 11th through 20th. 21st or 23rd is on your screen. Looks like Glenn. Oh yeah, he did log himself out of the field. We'll slide ourselves to the side as we go ahead and interview our that's a weird burnout. We'll go ahead and interview our top 3 and champion here for tonight. Zero. Welcome you back live for the Charlotte 97, getting set to go ahead and interview the top 3 and your champion here for tonight. And into the booth goes that number 9, your winner of Nick Miller. Started himself all the way, well actually I don't even see him in the waiting room right now, but we'll go ahead and wait around. Hopefully he gets himself in here ASAP. So we're gonna slide ourselves back to the 555 of Rhett Nichols, who started himself in first place, but unfortunately came up short there at the end. Rhett, congratulations for your first ever start in iSCAR. You made a good impression here for tonight.
Yeah, if it weren't for some bad luck there at the end with the caution coming out, we would have made an even better one.
Right, man. Lots of cautions playing out in the end, and you were the first person on 4 tires, but that final restart with Heater, he had fresher tires than you, huh? So, was that just a disruption for that?
No, it was just I think him and the 9 were teammates, so they both got a good jump there. So I just had to work back to get back past Heater. But yeah, I thought it was a good race all in all. A couple cautions there at the end, but that's really, other than that, it was a good race.
All right, man. Otherwise than that, how was your car out there tonight? I know you started on pole.
Yeah, I was actually with the pole. My first lap, I took it easy to try to get a faster second lap and ended up setting the pole time. So I got to learn something or two here. But other than that, it felt really, really good all night.
All right, man. 10-4. Before we let you go here for tonight, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight's run?
Absolutely. I want to thank my sponsors of Northern Capital, Samson Motorsports, ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and Chris's Sports.
All right, man. 10-4. Rhett gonna round himself out in second, short of the win, but showing a good impression here for iSCAR. Congratulations, man. Can't wait to talk to you coming next race.
Thank you very much.
And that was Rhett in the 555, and we're gonna slide in the number 11 of Heater. Dewey, you want to take this one?
Sure, I guess.
All right, we're gonna drag in a Heater. He started himself all the way in 18th place and rounded himself out in third. Dewey, go ahead and take this one away.
Got a copy, Eric?
Yeah, I got you.
Looks like every time you were getting close to getting past that 9 or that 555, you were just coming up just short. Did you think you had anything for him left at the end, or do you think you exhausted everything you had?
Not there at the end. Towards the mid part and in the beginning, really, when I was coming up through the field, I felt like I had a lot of speed. But just towards the end there, I lit up my tires under yellow, just not really paying attention, I guess. So that took a lot of grip away from them. So I don't think I really had a shot there. I was just kind of playing blocker.
Yeah, and so how'd you enjoy that triple burnout at the end of the race?
Yeah, that was fun. I've always wanted to wreck my teammate into a burnout. So
All right, well, any sponsors you want to thank for tonight's race and for this season?
yep, Miller Motorsports been on their team for quite a bit now, so it's always fun to run races with all my teammates. They're all usually really clean. So other than that, of course, Legends Racing League has always announced that special all-star race with the street stock. So that's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to race that with the track that it's at currently, but we'll see as it goes on. But other than that, just pretty interesting that my last race before going to Charlotte to race in real life is Charlotte. So we'll have fun down there. We're going to be leaving tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. And that is going to be broadcasted. I'll see if I can find a link if anyone would want to watch that. But
That's awesome, man. All right, well, good luck in your future endeavors in real life. Hope you pick up a W there, too. So, all right, congratulations on your finish tonight, and good luck in real life, Charlotte.
Yep, thank you.
That was Eric Heater in the number 11. We're going to slide him out of the booth and finally drag in your winner of that number 9 of Nick Miller into the booth. He goes. Miller, you started yourself in 5th and elected with 2 tires. Interesting call right there. Miller, how'd you pull it off here for tonight?
Just finally predicted the new tire model right. Everyone thought new 2 tires would be bad, but I mean the setup was really tight, so I had to find a way to loosen it some way, and it really was able to turn through the middle of the corner. So I think Rhett might have got to me if Klein didn't wreck, but on the restarts, I was just getting such a good pull off the P2.
Right, man. Restarts were pretty key, and you had your teammate right behind you, that number 11. For that final restart, you two were definitely working together to get yourself around Rhett to finish 1 and 2, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm not surprised right there. You and Miller, I mean, not you and Miller, you and Heater, we're both working around. We're working with you throughout the season. Overall, reflecting here for the whole season, how would you rate it?
Honestly, it was better than I thought. I think a lot of this season went better because of we didn't do short tracks like we did season 1. We did a lot of the smaller tracks. I think this year, with us going to the bigger tracks, it really brought good racing.
All right, 10-4 Miller in the final race of the season. You cap your season off with a win, man. Before we let you go, any sponsor want to thank for you for tonight?
Miller Motorsports, Vortex, and that's it for now.
All right, 10-4. Nick Miller runs himself out in first after starting in 5th place. And that was Miller in the 9. And I'll go ahead and take our champion with that number 45 of Cody Webster into the booth. He goes, and Cody, man, oh my, I don't even know where you were. You joined in late, but I guess before we catch on to the race, man, congratulations on the championship finally. What a season to cap yourself off here in the Bronze Series.
Yeah, I know it'll probably sound a little different now. I'm on my phone. I'm still in Ohio. But yeah, season overall was pretty good for the most part. Short season for iSCAR, one of the two short mini seasons. So it was pretty good. I made all the races I could, minus I think a suspension week or I don't even know. And then me being in Ohio last week, I didn't have my computer stuff with me and got it up here. And believe it or not, tonight raced on a lovely controller. In the first time in over a year and a half. So I was actually on guest Wi-Fi for this race, just starting it, and I just finished it, and able to bring home a championship. It's been a solid season. I feel like I've helped out Miller Motorsports and Webster Motorsports pretty well, got them better, and as you've seen, they've been performing well. Not just me doing all the winning work. Now it's Nick or Eric or the other guys getting better.
Yeah, man, a solid season. I think you round yourself out here with 2 or 3 wins. No, actually 2 wins in total. One coming at Richmond, another at Chicagoland. You mentioned yourself on a controller. How about a P7 on your controller, man?
Yeah, hey, I'll take it. I mean, I gotta say, I have a lot of experience doing it. I mean, I raced on a controller for 3 years on iRacing, so it's not it's nothing new to me, but it was definitely a lot different. So as far as me going into great detail on how the car handled, I will say it did not handle very well from my liking. Being very different, but did what I could, and I didn't know if Dominic Howe was going to show up. He had a great finish last week at I think Dago they were at, and I saw the point deficit get cut down in like half, and I'm like, oh. So I had to really make an effort just to even get into the race and make sure. So,
well, luckily for you, your start played off in the end. Congratulations. Before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank for this season?
Miller Motorsports, Webster Motorsports, all the guys over there have been doing a great job, getting along very well together, and helping each other improve. You for streaming, holding this whole entire league ordeal down. And for the most part, most of the guys that I race around, on a weekly basis, they're great to race around. Everybody's pretty clean, and they're great. They all are. They're all learning, and I'm always here to help them out at the end of the day too. So, it's been a great season, and I appreciate all you do.
All right, 10-4 Webster. Congratulations for a solid season, and he comes out your champion after finishing 7th here at Charlotte. Can't wait to see you coming next season and next race.
Sounds good.
And that was Cody Webster in that number 45. And before we let ourselves go from the broadcast, go ahead. What you think of tonight's race, even though you didn't see the first beginning portion of it?
Well, I guess this laptop decided it's not going to handle sessions anymore. So, you came to the rescue with your screen share at the end of that, so I was able to still commentate. But tonight was a pretty solid race, even though we only had about 8 or 9 cars finished. It had a lot of good battles, especially with Heater and Rhett for that good stretch of the middle to the end of the race. And, compared to Talladega, which is pretty hectic, this was a really, really solid night of racing, and I enjoyed it for what I saw.
All right, with that summed up, we round ourselves out with the iSCAR Bronze Series Season 2 at Charlotte. We'll go ahead and see you at Season 3 coming maybe later this year. But until next time, congratulations to Cody Webster, your champion. Congratulations to Nick Miller for winning the race here for tonight. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm, and before we sign this off, I would like to express my thanks to Ezeckiel and all of the people that watch these live streams for, accepting me into the commentator family, I guess. And I don't really have that much by way of iRacing content. I, bought the NASCAR so I could do these couple races. So, unless I get some more content or whatever, it might be the last you see of me in the booth for a while. So, if that's the case, again, thank you all for, allowing me to come in here and, dabble in commentating. Something I've had an interest in for a long time. So, once again, thank you all, and I had a blast.
We hope to see you back in the booth coming maybe next month or so. But otherwise than that, congratulations to all the winners here from Charlotte. Until next time, this is KMN at Charlotte for the iSCAR Bronze Series finale.